Hey guys, this is Nico from Team Limitless and I'm here with Philipp Schulz, who made top 8 at Leipzig Regionals with his Darkrai Garbodor list. First of all, Philipp, congratulations and tell us a little bit about your list. What made you choose this exact list, or would you change something after this tournament?
Well, after last weekend's Dutch Open in Leiden, I wanted a new deck because the meta was already very Eviltal unfriendly and Veilord came to shine in Leiden, and I was really afraid of that matchup because it's not good for Eviltal and there's already a lot of hate for Eviltal, like Zip Striker and yeah, just people usually just want to win against Eviltal, so I wanted a different deck, and I thought about what's available, and so I came up with Darkrai, and I tested it a lot this week. So thanks to my teammate Philipp Lisieski for testing every day with me till like 5 a.m. He helped a lot in building this deck, and yeah, so eventually we came up with this list, and I'm quite satisfied with it. As you can see, I chose quite a straightforward list. I have like 4 Darkrai, 2 Eviltal, 2 Garbodor, 1 Shaymin, 1 Hooper. 4 Darkrai are obviously needed because you need lots of hitters and stuff you can attach energy to. Then the 2 Eviltal with Oblivion Wing. I kinda had to debate on that because I wasn't sure I need the second one. But it's a major part of the strategy. It brings lots of energy into play. It helps set up one-shots later on. Yeah, with XP share it's very efficient because you can use the energy you attach to Oblivion, and the energy on Oblivion Wing will get recycled and you can get 1 extra energy. Darkness Blade is also a great attack to have a non-X hitter make your opponent draw 7 prizes. So yeah, because Eviltal Oblivion Wing is so important in the deck, I wanted to have 2. I couldn't play 3 or more, that's not possible. And I think 2 is the perfect number because 1 is like random, you sometimes use it, sometimes don't, but you basically want to use it every game. So the second one makes sure that it isn't priced and you draw better into it. So you sometimes open it. The third one wouldn't have such a big impact as the second one because the price problem's already solved, and yeah, the odds of starting it aren't that great aren't that much better with the third one. So I only play 1 Shaymin. This was kind of a tough decision, but I definitely wanted to play Hooper. The games I lost with this deck were basically when I couldn't set up, and oftentimes the problem was that I just didn't draw enough hitter so that I could attach energy to. You usually just want 2 energy on 1 Darkrai, not more. So if you have to stack more than 2, that sucks a lot. So Hooper helps and brings a lot of speed into the deck. And yeah, originally I had 2 Shaymin, but I had to cut 1 for the Hooper. Partially because of space, but partially also because Shaymin isn't that needed and isn't that great in the deck. Because against Gardevoir, for example, you really don't want to open Shaymin. It's a big liability in the matchup. It's very close usually, and if I get 3 prizes on Shaymin, it's not good. So 2 Shaymin, 1 Hooper would often put you in a position where you just can't keep up in the price trade. Also, this is a Garbodor deck. I run a 2-2 Garbodor line. I want to set up it in most matchups, so the second Shaymin would often be unneeded. Yeah. So the only problem was that it might be priced if necessary, but part of the strategy of this deck is that you just don't need it. I play for Sycamore for N because I want to set up consistently and I don't want to rely on Shaymin. Sometimes it's necessary, but most of the time I'd really like to avoid using it. Yeah, then you can see 2 Lysander, 1 Olympia. The Olympia is necessary in this deck because the switching options are a little bit awkward. You have to play Floatstone because of Garbodor, but it's not your first choice of a switching card. It's of course great for free retreat, but usually it'd be like an one-off and not more. Because you have XP share, you want to attach those XP shares to your bench Pokemon, and you don't want to attack with a Pokemon that has an XP share. You just want to sit it on the bench till the late game and collect like 4 or 5 energies, so you can deal lots of damage. Yeah. Also, you don't want to attach Floatstone to a Darkrai because a Darkrai that has a Floatstone can't use XP share or fight in Fury Belt, and you usually want to have one of those on each of your Darkrai. So, yeah, the Olympia helps to avoid that. Also, it's sometimes nice to heal some damage. That is especially useful against Greninja because it ruins their numbers by healing 30 off, so they can't do like 80, and 60 with a balloon. Then of course against Gardevoir, the Skyfield build, you have resistance, so it usually would be a 2-shot, but but if you fight in Fury Belt, of course they have to discard 4 Pokemon, what isn't that easy if you have Garbodor. Also, if you have a fighting Fury Belt and use Olympia, they'd have to discard like 7 Pokemon, what is really hard to pull off. So, other than that, you basically see the standard consistent cards for Versus Seeker, for Ultra Ball, for Max Elixir, free Mail. I think Mail is generally great, it helps most decks to run smooth. It's important to get your Garbodor out quickly and just get access to your supporters. Not much debate about those. Yeah, you have 2 fighting Fury Belt to XP share, I think that's enough. A third fighting Fury Belt would be nice, but I already have 7 tools and like 7 is already a lot, so 8 would be way too much. Super Rod is a nice card, it gets energy back, you often discard a lot of energy early on. Also, you have a Garbodor, if you draw into Garbodor before you have Trubbish, you might have to discard it, so sometimes you want to get those back, and yeah. Other than that, the stadium count was a bit in question. We considered playing Parallel City, but in the end I decided that I don't want Parallel City because you need to spread out your energies, you need to have XP shares on your bench, you want Garbodor, so you need a lot of bench space. And if your opponent plays Parallel City, you just need a kick chip. You need it quickly. You can't afford to have only 3 bench Pokemon, that won't work out. So I opted for 2 Reverse Valley and no Parallel City because your Parallel City problems are just too big to run it yourself. The 10 additional damage is often very nice. It helps just get better numbers. So I really liked Reverse Valley. It's also really nice to attack for more damage with Yveltal, for example, and Yveltal with an XP share. And can use Reverse Valley to knock out Shaymin next. Yeah. Yeah, that's basically it for the cards in my deck. Yeah, also a second Shaymin wouldn't be that great because you don't have that much space on your bench. You have Yveltal, multiple Darkrai's, Garbodor, sometimes Hooper, so you don't have space for more than one Shaymin.
You already talked about Wailord when it came to decks you considered playing against, and Wailord is a pretty unique deck. Did you face any other unique decks in the tournament, decks you didn't expect?
No, actually the meta game looked a lot like I predicted. It was Vespiq Queen and Greninja were quite popular, so those are matchups you really want to face usually. Mega Mewtwo saw a lot of play too, and it's a pretty good matchup as well because they struggle to just keep up with your Darkrai. And you can take lots of easy prizes on Shaymin and Hooper. Yveltal saw a decrease on play, but I think the matchups are usually pretty solid. Volcanion wasn't much played there. It was a little surprising that Gardevoir was quite underplayed. Like, the Skyfield build wasn't there at all. I expected this to be a rather important deck. Instead, Xenia's Gardevoir was quite popular, what is an unpleasant matchup. So that was a little unfortunate. Robin actually ended up losing in top 8 against the Xenia's Gardevoir deck. Yeah, it's just not a great matchup, it's very tough. You need to draw really well, and if you whiff at some point, you probably will end up losing. Yeah, but Other than that, nothing really special. Wailord is a good matchup with this. Striker is Greninja is a pretty good matchup. Gardevoir is the Skyfield build is quite manageable. Volcanion 2, Evoltal is decent as long as you manage to draw okay and get some energy to play. Yeah, that much to the matchups. I don't think there's much more to say. I tested a lot when I tested the Darkrai build a lot, and Philip Polichevsky actually wanted to play that, so the guy I tested with most. But I just figured that the matchups of the non-Garbodor build were just too bad. Like, you have, in most matchups, you just have to hope that your opponent won't draw well. If they draw good, then like Gardevoir, Volcanion, Greninja, those are all bad matchups. So I thought I needed the Garbodor. And in the end, I ended up convincing most of my teammates to play the same deck. Robin made top 8 just like I did. Toby actually bubbled on 9th, that was unfortunate, and Nico and Philip both made top 32.
Yes. As a lot of our followers will probably know, we had quite a lot of success with Yveltal Garbodor at past tournaments. When did you decide to drop the Yveltals for Darkrais? Did you make the choice shortly after your last tournaments, or did you make it like in last minute?
Well, it was a steady decision. I always look for the deck that gives me the best chances to win. Generally, I think Yveltal is a great deck. It's like my favorite deck. If you can play Yveltal, if you play it well, and the meta allows to play it, then you probably should, because it's just great. But as people grew more and more aware of Yveltal's strength, so it was from tournament to tournament a more risky choice, and I looked for other decks. And when Wailord started to appear, I was too afraid of that matchup to still play Yveltal, and so I decided to play this instead.
Do you have any special last tips for players that want to pick up the deck?
Not really. I am pretty happy with the list. I think it did quite well in Leipzig. Yeah, I don't think there's much stuff you could change. It's quite straightforward and consistent, but I think that's just what the deck needs. Yeah, if you want to try it out, good luck. Yeah.
Thanks for the interview, Philip.